A beautiful evening to you, and thanks for joining us once again on Sport. This is Rapid Sport, and I am Ijoma Victor. Well, the feud between the Nigerian Football Federation and the Super Eagles team, well, is still on. As at this time, we'll be expected to be looking at that game, that big game that will go down tomorrow. Looking at the playoffs between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Panthers of Gabon. We should be analyzing the technical analysis. We should also be analyzing the formation and the players that will be, wearing that green, white, green jersey for the Super Eagles. But it's a total different thing entirely because the rift between the players and the football administrator is still on. Well, this started barely 48 hours to that big game that will go down tomorrow. Yes, this has been going on for a very long time, and no wonder many are saying that is why the Super Eagles performance has been in this way. Well, the last time the Super Eagles got to the final of the AFCON was back about 2 years ago in Côte d'Ivoire, where Nigeria was beaten in the final by the Elephant to clinch that title. And promises were made after that day. As we speak, those promises have not been met. The Flying Eagles, probably the Super Eagles of Nigeria, the allowances, alongside their bonuses, all have not been paid. And that is why the Super Eagles decided to boycott training yesterday ahead of tomorrow's game. And many questions on the lips of fans. Why now? Why would the Super Eagles be going on this, probably, let's say, strike today or probably yesterday? Why would they be going about it now? Many has called out to say it is the right time for the Super Eagles to do this. Some will say no, it is not the right time for the Super Eagles to do this, knowing fully well that the game is around the corner. Many also have blamed football administrators. Well, on the show, we have the light of Sunday Olise, and also having what's his name again, Mikel Obi. Yes, also on the show this evening, and we will be looking at hearing their reactions on this. Hopefully, we'll be joining a guest who will be joining us via Zoom this evening to analyze this. Now, he is not in Nigeria. They are in the United States of America, in Chicago to be precise, and they are waiting to see if the Super Eagles will get the ticket and land in the USA. Well, that is if Super Eagles will be in the group that will be playing in the USA. Also know that these games, we're talking about the World Cup, will be played in the United States, will be played in Canada, and also will be played in Mexico. Hopefully he will join us via Zoom, and definitely we'll discuss all these. But meanwhile, while we wait for him, while we're waiting to connect to him, let's see if we can get that video. Let's see if we can get that video of what's his name again, Sunday Olise. Yes, he spoke about being owed salaries. Now, it is not today
that because of that
the NFF have been owing salaries. Not today. Remember former Super Eagles coach, Gene Raw? He was owed salary. He even dragged the NFF to FIFA. And FIFA mandated that Nigeria must pay that salary. But meanwhile, let's hear what Sunday Ogochukwu Olise is saying concerning being owed and what the NFF is doing.
Coach Eriko made it very clear before his death that because of that thing they did to us in that 2002, he sat down in his room in the night, naked, and he cost Nigeria. This was a man who came, he took over Eriko. Oh, great human being. Yeah. Lovely guy, funny guy. They took over the Super Eagles. Eriko, it's in the book. Look, yeah. Eriko, Keshi, and Shuaibu. Keshi was looking for name as a coach. Keshi invested so much. He was always calling me to his room. He won't do this one, skip. And he was invested so much to make sure Nigeria qualified. We're 5 points behind Liberia in the qualifiers. Just like now. Yeah. We're 5 points behind. Everybody has written us off. Yeah. When Shuaibu took over, Keshi took over, Eriko took over, we became like husband and wife, 4 of us. They would be phoning me from Nigeria. Keshi was in the US. I was coordinating with the players. Oh boy, we'll get match on Friday. When you go land, me at the land on Sunday night as Kipo, but you make you try day because so that Monday, Tuesday we don't start training. So that's what we were doing it then. And they gradually we grabble. Players like Agali raised up their game. Yakubu raised up their game. You know, Yakubu went to Sudan. That game I didn't go because I had an injury on my neck. As captain, went there and scored 2 goals. How can a man risk all this thing finish? When they go walk up, when I drop them. Carry players, when they even play qualifiers. And now you now say, you know, like always now, make we spoil the name. Oh, it was because Sunday was stubborn. Some even said that we insulted a minister. That's why. This is another version I'm hearing today. The other version was that they said we insulted a minister. Because for this country, you insult minister, they don't lock you up. You find a number. They don't take military flogging the hell out of you. So, you know, they did all that and they destroyed the team. I personally feel that's when I was coaching, and then at one point I felt that, look, I saw what is happening now coming then. Believe me, I saw it coming then. One of my best friends is here, Rash. I told them already then. It was coming then. And then I said, look, since you people don't want to follow it, and I see it's going to come, it's going to come on my head. Okay, I am resigning. Till today, I'm the only Nigerian coach to ever resign. And until today, they are still owing me 2 months' salary, which is worth $26,000.
Wow.
And people have invited me to take Nigeria to court, to take NFF to court. I have refused to take NFF to court for one reason: is the fact that I will not take my fatherland to a Western court.
Yeah. The court of arbitration now?
No, it starts with FIFA. You have to go to FIFA first. Okay. And even if I win anyway, for sure, because the contracts are there. But I looked at it that they will not.
Okay, that was actually an old video, but we are laying emphasis on him being owed 2 months salaries, $26,000, and he's yet to receive it. And let's see how it panned out. Also, not only him, General also was being owed. And remember the game played in Cameroon, the ladies, Nigeria against the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. Also, a female player raised alarm. And what happened to that players? But meanwhile, let's join our guest all the way from Chicago in the U.S. He's Henry Chuks Ngenge. Nigerians over in the US are expecting Nigerians to clinch this ticket. But let's join up with him. And yes, he's live with us right from Chicago. And we'll be talking about what is happening in the camp of the Super Eagles as Nigerians are expecting the Super Eagles to clinch the ticket probably this weekend or hopefully in Mexico. It's good to have you, Henry. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak for the love of football and my country. Football has been the only thing, the only mineral resources, I will call it, that has united this great nation called Nigeria. And then there are some people who are just there to destroy it. They just want to destroy everything concerning Nigeria.
Okay, Henry, before I'll let you progress, when you heard the news of the boycott of training, what was your reaction?
Okay, first of all, the Spirit of the Lord told me that there was something wrong for this guy, Victor Osimhen, not to be in camp. I was so surprised.
Exactly.
I said, Victor Osimhen not in camp by this time? There's something wrong. And I knew the guy was trying to stay away from something. But what it was, I didn't know. I wasn't sure until the news came up. Oh my God, I wept. I said, why again? What again? What again? What else do they want these boys to do? Okay, look at what Sunday Odyssey just said. They are owing him as a coach. They are owing him as a player till date. Because these as a men, what they want to do is they will owe you till you get frustrated or you get retired, and then they keep the money into their own accounts. And then somebody who calls himself a minister saying that they are not accountable for any money being spent. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You are not accountable. You cannot account for the money that was given to you by FIFA.
Okay, Henry,
it's a disgrace.
I would love to ask you this question. Do you think, because, well, when we started, probably when we stumbled on this report, and it was said it was accumulated allowance, even right from when they won the silver medal at the last AFCON. Also, match bonuses and allowances not being paid. Do you think that this is what has affected the performance throughout the World Cup qualifiers en route to the final game in Uyo?
Well, from the beginning, this administration, the NFA board, has been a disaster to Nigerian football. A disaster in such that, okay, where is the principal cup of those days? The principal cup of those days, where we get raw talent. You can imagine our own base players going to Wafu and being disgraced just like that, and we're keeping quiet. I know it's I don't know what word to use. It's a disaster. People here in America are waiting to see their beloved country, to cheer them up. I predicted that yes, if Nigeria gets to that World Cup, we might win it.
Now with this now, Henry, with this, do you think just like, yes, 24 hours to that game, 24 hours to that game, they are yet to even train as a team. Do you think that that game will still go down tomorrow?
Yeah, it will go down tomorrow.
Without even training?
I believe so.
And do you think we are going to come out tops?
I believe that some kind of miracle that has always happened for Nigeria will always happen. I know the kind of president we have. He will not let anyone rubbish his name. So I know he will do something. And I believe the boys are professionals. They know what to do. They know when to play.
Okay, Henry, I would love you to hold your thoughts there. You heard Sunday Ogochukwu earlier, though it's an old video. I wanted to make reference to him being old. But now let's hear, what's his name again? That should be John Mikel Obi. Yes, he was really furious and also angry. But let's hear what he himself he's saying concerning this one.
Like I said, I've seen so many pictures, so many conversations about FIFA giving 1.2 million to the NFF to build stadiums. Have you seen that? And all the corruption that's gone on and not gone on, whatever it is. The corruption has to be rooted out of the game. If we want to go forward, it has to be rooted out. But now is not the best time to discuss those. Now is the time for us to focus in the game and on the game at hand, which is playing Gabon, playoff game, to get to the next round of the playoffs.
And then win that, and then we'll see you in March.
Exactly.
You've got more qualifiers.
So it's a difficult task for us right now.
Are you confident, John? Come on. 2 wins needed.
It's a mountain to climb, and we have to make sure we are ready. Again, when you talk about making the players feel comfortable when they come back to play, now is the right time. Whatever the NFF have to do to make those players come back, feel comfortable, to perform, give their best for the country, they have to do that right now. This is the time.
Do they?
I think we can. I think we have the team to do it. We have the players to do it. We have the best, one of the best strikers in the world right now. He's absolutely on fire.
Yeah, he is.
And again, I've said it, not just him. The whole team have to perform. Don't depend on Victor Osimhen alone. Don't depend on Victor Osimhen alone. The team, everybody needs to perform. Find the motivation in you, knowing that this is the biggest games of our lives, the nation's life. We have to qualify for the World Cup. Yeah. There is no two ways about it. We have to.
Okay, Henry, you heard John Obi Mikel. and there are some questions I want to take out from his statement. The NFF, they are yet to make a statement, an official statement. The NFF, they are yet to make an official statement concerning this. Now, the DG, National Sports Commission, in the person of Bukola Olokpade, has waded into the matter. Though nothing is heard yet, we just know that he has actually waded into the matter. But truly, is the Super Eagles ready? From all these questions, are they ready to take over? Because to me, all these are distractions.
Yeah, you're right. They are actually distractions, but I believe as professionals, they know what to do. I can guarantee you that those boys can beat any team in the world if they are ready to play football. Do you understand? So all they need to do is settle them, because if they don't settle them, I personally will tell them not to play anything. They should not go on the field. They shouldn't go on the field until their allowances are paid. How can you work for 6 years, 6 good years, and nothing is being paid? No, it's a disaster. And I'm ashamed of all the sports ministers. I'm ashamed. I think it is high time these fans have to stand up and walk to the glass house and tell them to get out from that office.
But what do you think? What do you think the fans can do in this case? The only thing we can do, even we as journalists, we can only just cry to high heavens, and that is if they will hear, because it seems as if we have opened the book of lamentation. Even in the era of the Holy Spirit, we keep lamenting and lamenting. But what do you think the fans can do? That is really, because it's really a big question. Just like you now, you are there in the United States. You are expecting that Nigeria will clinch one of the tickets and go support them in the state. But do you think, or probably what do you think the fans can do in this case? You can only cry, but can they do anything?
You see, when the government does something wrong, maybe they owe ASU, they owe the medical department or whatever, you see the labor come out and say, hey, sit at home, everybody come out, sit at home, we're going to riot, we're going to do it. Where are they now? Are the footballers not part of this labor? Why can't they march to the glass house and tell them, okay, enough is enough. Don't run our football anymore. Let FIFA ban us. Because these guys are just taking advantage of everything. They come there, sit down and eat their money. Have you ever had one day that they say they are not paid salary? No. They enrich their pockets.
They are even preparing to go to Rabat. They are preparing to go to Rabat. They're supposed to leave for Rabat today.
Exactly.
They're supposed to go to Rabat today.
I can guarantee you they are already packaging their wife, their cousin, their nephew, or their friends, who they are going to go to, even their girlfriends.
But do you have evidence to that statement you just made, taking their wives, their girlfriends? Do you have evidence?
I don't have an evidence, but I know them. That's what they do. That's what they do.
Okay, now still with this issue. 2023 presidential aspirant candidate in the person of Peter Obi for the Labour Party has also criticized the federal government for this shambolic embarrassment that is actually presently going on. Now, I want to ask you, is it the fault of the federal government, or is it the fault of the National Sports Commission, or is it the fault of the NFF that all these things are happening? Because he has placed the bulk of the blame on the federal government.
You see, first of all, you talking about Peter Obi. Peter Obi is somebody who jumps on any little opportunity. So I don't see him as a politician. He's just an opportunist. Okay, so now that is one. Then two, the NFF are the cause of this right from day one. The wrong people are the people running our football. The wrong people are running the football. John Fashanu came up. They pushed him out. Chief Olusegun Odegbami came up. They pushed him out. Now, some people are clamoring for JJ. Let people who play this game, let them run this thing. Let the people who know about sports run it.
But
How can
Henry,
you bring somebody from
you being
Zamfara?
you being a player is different from you being an administrator. Don't you think so?
Yes, I agree. I agree. But you have the technical know-how. As a pro, you know how football is being run. Look at how Olise is talking. If somebody like Olise is running our football, wow, I can imagine. You understand what I'm saying? They know what it is when they were professionals. They know how it's being run, how you take care of the players. Look at the hotel, for example. The hotel they went to go and put the boys. You can imagine. You think they don't have money to get an hotel? They can't get a better hotel. Now you came with an excuse that, okay, because the distance to the field or to the training pitch is blah, blah, blah. That is all bullshit.
Okay, now Henry, let me still hold to here. There are two different probably constructing questions out there. First of all, when this news broke out, we all learned that because Cameroon, DR Congo, and Gabon, they have special allowances that will be given to them. And these players, they talk to themselves, they know themselves. So this is a report that came out that the Super Eagles are trying to hand twist the NFF to increase their bonus from $10,000 to $15,000. Now, only for William Chus Ekong to come out to debunk the statement, and he said no, that what they are actually crying out for is the payment of their outstanding allowances that has not been paid since the last Nations Cup. So now, why are we having two different reports out there, one rubbishing the other one, and why the other one trying to defend it?
See, I will tell you, Victor, those boys will not ask for extra bonus if the allowances have been paid. They will not even ask for a dime if the allowances have been paid. But because these boys have been old for 6 years, and you still want them to go stick their life. Okay, look at Ayeno. Ayeno is injured. If not for his club, the NFA, they don't even know what is happening to him right now. They don't know what is going on with him, whether he's getting better or anything. All they are interested is in he's being treated. By who? Has anyone gone to visit him in the hospital? Nobody. And they come out, they give us different lies. They lied to us, they've paid them, they've did this, they've done that. And at the back, you are going to go and beg the players, please don't expose us. Now it is time. Busau or whatever his name is, he should leave our football alone.
But Gusau cannot be thrown out of the office except the Congress. And it's only the Congress that will determine if Gusau will be thrown out of the office. But before you respond to that, now I want to tie what's happening to our developmental football. Now, in the last 2 years, the Golden Eaglet of Nigeria, the most successful team in the world, did not, participate. Will not participate in their second AFCON on the 17 Nations Cup, and also will not be going. Or probably they are not even at the World Cup. Yes, they will not even be going to the next World Cup. That's talking about the Golden Eaglet of Nigeria. Now, the Flamingos, they crashed out in the round of 16. With what is happening, is this what is really affecting our developmental football?
You see, they killed it right from the beginning. The moment Principal Cup died, everything died. And all because of the money, the greed. I remember when I was growing up there, my father's friend used to say something. He used to tell me and the son, Mr. Alex, long ago, he said, anytime, any country that worships money, they end up failing. And that is true. I just grew up to know that, yes, if you start to worship money, that is exactly what is happening to the NFA right now. All they are interested is in that interest, the money that is not your own. Look at that stadium that they built, even the one in Unilag. is better than that nonsense that they say they built.
I wouldn't want you to go straight to infrastructure, because if we enter infrastructure, we will not leave the studio. So let's just leave infrastructure aside.
You can imagine. Somebody's coming out.
It's really
somebody's
pathetic.
coming out to tell us they are not accountable. What do you mean by you're not accountable?
It is really pathetic.
Where is the money given to you?
We are yet to hear an official statement from the NFF. Even when the Super Eagles media officer Fogel was contacted, he said he has received the message, but he could not comment because of his principle. But Henry, you have to hold your thought there now. But let's see if we can go for a quick break. Definitely when we come back, we will still touch what's happening. Then we'll also look at the Super Eagles themselves. If truly they will play tomorrow, let's hear from you. What do you think Eric Chow will do? And how has Eric Chow's performance been so far for you, Henry? So I just want you to hold that thought. And when we return from this quick break, the conversation definitely will continue.
All right.
Are you missing out on interviews, music, entertainment, thought-provoking discussions, and more? Don't sweat it, man. We've got you covered. No matter where you are, be part of the action 24/7, online and live.
On Facebook, it's Rapid FM Umahia. On Instagram, it's official Rapid FM. And on X, it is Rapid FM 965. Tune in to Rapid 96.5 FM or listen to us live on our website at www.rapidfm965.com or radiogarden.com.
Better yet, get our mobile app from the Google Play Store.
Catch the pulse of the Southeast on Rapid 96.5 FM, the sound of your city.
Hey, Oyanam, all Siso Radio.
This is Rapid Broadcasting Network, RBN. We connect people, power stories, and amplify voices. On Rapid TV, we're rooted in culture and your window to the stories that matter. From news to lifestyle, we inform, entertain, and uplift. Join Rapid TV on Star Times Channel 176, Nigecom Sat. On Rapid FM, we speak your language from the soulful airwaves of Umuahia to the vibrant culture of Port Harcourt and beyond. More than broadcasters, we're creators, amplifying that voice within with powerful content across TV, radio, and digital. Join us at rbnradiotv.com and all our social media handles. One network, one voice. Rapid Broadcasting Network, RBN, the sound of your city. Rooted in truth, driven by impact.
Okay, glad to know you're still there. It is still Rapid Sport on Rapid TV. Well, I am Ijoma Victor. Well, the conversation still continues, and my guest, Henry Ngenge, all the way from Chicago in the U.S., is still on with us as we dissect what's happening in the camp of the Super Eagles. Before we link up with him, let's tell you that, like I said earlier, the National Sports Commission has intervened in the matter. Yes, in the players' protest. Now, this actually came in this morning where the DG of the National Sports Commission, the person of Bukola Olopade, has personally intervened. Yes, personally, he has intervened in the matter. Well, a camera sighted players coming out from the hotel. That player looks like Simi Ajayi and Alex Iwobi. Yes, coming out of the hotel, trying to go straight to their boss. That was really a standby camera. Probably if we can have it on the screen so that they will see, because everyone is really looking at what's happening there in Rabat with the Super Eagles. Yes, you see them. That's the boss. That's them coming out. When I looked at it, it looks like Simi Ajayi and Alex Iwobi. Well, I wouldn't want to confirm that, but they look like him, or probably look like them rather, entering into the bus to see if they can go for training. Well, they might still train this evening, 8 p.m. Yes, there's every possibility that they would still train this evening, but for now, no iota of information coming from Rabat to actually tell us what is really happening. Well, we're still joined by Henry Ngege all the way from Chicago in the US. We want to join up with him. Let him actually tell us his expectations so far for tomorrow's game. And at the same time, let him tell us his assessment of Eric Chell since he resumed a couple of months back, taking charge as Super Eagles head coach. But before we join up with him, okay, he's here with us already. Henry, it's good to have you once again. Please, I want you to tell us and tell Nigerians so far, you being in the United States and the appointment of Eric Chell, so far so good. How has it been to you and every Nigerian in the States?
All right. First of all, the appointment was the best thing to happen to Nigeria. We have good Nigerian coaches too as well. But the problem is we don't support ourselves. So it is a good thing that somebody who we have seen performed comes in. And since the guy came, the guy has been doing marvelously fine. Marvelously well. Do you understand? So let him continue. Because I'm still, you see, I keep telling people, I say, even after this guy qualifies us to the World Cup, this same disastrous NFA might sack him and bring in another person they will make more money from, instead of leaving him for continuity.
You know, Henry, you keep saying this. You're sounding as if you have proof with all that you're saying, your statement that you once they come in, they want to get money from. I've heard this statement not once, not twice, but there's no proof.
Because that has been their culture. That has been their culture. Tell me, how can they not give us a standing account that, okay, this is what we have used XYZ to do? You can imagine, why will you be telling them, hey, okay, from 2019 to 2002, let's waive that one. Let's start from 2022 now. And even with that,
let's stay with Chell. Let's leave that aside. Let's stay with Chell. Now, what are your expectations tomorrow? If eventually the match will go on.
My expectation for tomorrow. Being a smart coach, I know the boys would have been doing some maybe physical fitness, because that game will be physical. And I think that's the reason why he had to bring in that guy from Severe, Ejike. Exactly, because his stature is good enough to match the Gabonese.
But it's one thing to be invited to the camp of the Super Eagles. It's another thing to be in the first 11 or probably on the reserve bench.
Exactly. I think the guy is going to play for bringing him in because of stature, because that match is going to be more physical than you think. So, and I know Chell would have been talking to the boys, at least trying to psych them up. And then they will be doing some kind of closed door training that you and I and anybody else on the cameras will not be able to see, because they themselves want to go to World Cup. Their names is at stake, their career is at stake. So they go there, they earn more. You understand? They don't go, they don't earn more.
Okay, now let's look at the goalkeeper, Stanley Wabali. Okay. In the last two games, I personally don't like his charisma, and he's really highly emotional to the extreme. And now Maduka Okoye has got a recall to the team, and Amas Obasogi is also amongst them. Now, I know Stanley Wabali has been a regular standing between the sticks. Do you think that he will get the call-up? Because to me, many will say experience matters. Old wine is very sweet. But I personally, I wouldn't want him to start. But once again, emotions will also come in. Let him just start. But what will be your assessment of him between the sticks tomorrow? Stanley Wabali.
You see, whether you like it or not, Stanley is good. Okoye is wonderful. Okoye has the experience of the European football. Stanley has the experience of African football. There are two different things. People don't know. If you have not played football before, you will not know this. So that is why you see sometimes our footballers struggle, except those who have come from the grassroots. That's why you see Osimhen is a diehard. So it's difficult for any defender, no matter where you come from. If you like come from the moon, he will beat you and he will score his goals. You understand? So now, African football is different from European football. So I will stick to Stanley for now, and when he makes any silly mistake, then Okoye can take over.
It is difficult to change a goalkeeper except injuries. But let's look at the back line. I remember the last time, what's his name again? The captain, William Chus Ekong sat on the bench. We went ahead to win that game. Some silly mistakes from the captain. Are you expecting to see him be behind the back line tomorrow? William Chus Ekong.
He should respect himself and sit down on the bench. If Keshi, the big boss man, can do it, then he should understand and just sit down and help the coach to talk to his colleagues from the bench.
Okay. Okay, Harry, I have to leave you here now so that we can take other top stories before we leave the studio. But in one sentence, what will be your prediction tomorrow?
3-1.
3-1.
Yeah, 2 from Agali, 1 from Ademola Lukman.
Okay, Agali or Osimhen?
Yeah, sorry, Osimhen, sorry.
Okay.
Osimhen or Ademola Lukman.
Okay, Henry, we have to leave it here now. Hopefully on Friday, we'll reconnect back to you. And we'll see how we can be talking about going for the playoffs come March next year. Thank you very much for your time, Henry.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, too.
Okay, truly appreciate you. That is Henry Ngenge, diehard Super Eagles fans in Chicago, in the US. They are really anticipating that the Super Eagles will pick the sole ticket in the playoffs and then slug it out with every other countries in the Inter-Confederations Cup that we go down in the month of March 2026 in Mexico. So let's see how we pan out. We don't really know much we don't really know we don't have much to say concerning what's happening in the Super Eagles camp. But Henry said something that as a smart coach, despite all this happening, those boys are doing something at the background. They are really doing something at the background. But let's see what happens. And definitely by 8:30 tomorrow morning, we'll give you all the highlights coming from the Super Eagles camp in Rabat, Morocco. Well, time will not permit us because we would have really talked about the round of 16 of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup. 9 African countries for the first time in the round of 16. 9 African countries for the first time in the round of 16. And as it is now, some African countries will definitely drop aside because some African countries will be meeting other African countries. Like Zambia will meet Mali, so definitely one country will drop down from there. Then let's also tell you that Senegal will also meet Uganda. Yes, that also will go down. That should be on the 15th of November. Then we also have Tunisia and Australia, another African country. South Africa also, another African country will take on Japan. So at least for the first time, Africans are breaking that record, having 9 of 8 teams in the round of 16. Like I said, the Golden Eaglets of Nigeria are the most successful team when it comes to this age-grade football. The only team that is almost there to break that record is Brazil. Well, that is if they get to the final. Well, this is where I wrap up the show this evening. Like I said, 8:30 tomorrow on the Breakfast Show, Sport Highlight will be up and running. For this evening, it will be on Friday, 5 p.m. Then we can look at the game and anticipate the finals. That is if Nigeria will be in the final that will be played this weekend. Well, as Chairman Ijoma Victor, stay fit, stay safe, because on Rapid TV, we bring the game closer to you.